Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Show
Mm.
Strangers in the Night. VR Tonight. Welcome to VR Tonight, your only late night source for VR news and reviews. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, how are you doing on this late Wednesday night?
I'm doing good, except for some reason I just now got my window to pop up with the feed, so I was watching a spinning circle. I don't like to see a spinning circle. That's not good in my mind. But yeah, other than that, I'm having a very nice, warm and toasty night. I've got good news, Wes. We've got about 2 to 5 feet of snow coming to Colorado pretty soon, and over this weekend. So, uh,
Oh, brother, you
yeah.
might want to head to Best Buy right now and pick up a few battery banks and a nice brand spanking new Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, no, I got the Quest 2 right here. I just gotta I just gotta get the bank. I was thinking about that. Maybe if you can link me what you would recommend for a battery pack. But I must tell
um,
you, Wes, this Quest 2 is very, very comfortable. Somebody said something about it not being comfortable in the JP, I think, in the
yeah,
um in
jumper
the
on it.
Discord. Yeah, and I have been just marveling at how good it is, especially when I swivel that front down and it seals it and it brings that sharpness and clarity to the headset. I forgot how good that headset looks.
Yeah, man, he was a bit put off by it, but then you dropped the knowledge on him, right? Told him what's up, how to adjust it. It's not like a conventional VR headset. It's made differently, and therefore you have to adjust it differently. You have to use that swivel on the front to really make it contour to your face just right, and you got to hit that top strap a little bit shorter than what you would for a tethered headset. But after you do all that, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's PlayStation VR or Rift S or anything, but it's pretty comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, I would almost say it is more comfortable. Not in like I'm not gonna say it feels like a pillow on my head, like Anthony would say, but I will say the fact that it's swiveled down and that it's like it brings that sweet spot, at least for me, into perfect. Like everything is perfect. There, it even reduces the God rays. So if you're having God ray issues, you feel like you're seeing a lot of God rays. And that's another good thing about adjusting it. And there's no light. Plus, I already had that VR cover from before, so yeah, no, I've been enjoying it. My last session of GTA 5 that I recorded in for YouTube was just phenomenally. It just looked amazing, dude, in this headset. So
Yeah, man. It's underrated by those who don't have one. People that have one know, right? But you know, the PC guys, and I don't, I hate sometimes talking about it. Sometimes I feel like I'm picking on them, but a lot of the time they put more faith into the spec sheet than what it deserves. Because, and I was trying to make this uh, point on the Discord earlier today. You can't really quantify optimization, right? Uh, the people who are the people who work on consoles are more optimization minded, and that's the way I look at Quest 1 and Quest 2. Those are basically VR consoles. And you know if you take it for expect sheet for like a PC equivalent machine, then you're really missing uh you know you're missing the point here with what they're offering, so to speak. And it's all about the experience, and you really don't know unless you get it on your face and see it for yourself.
yeah, give it a shot. You can't lose.
Onakazi in the chat says, I use an Anchor 10,000 milliamp hour battery with a USB C cord that has a little MagSafe plug. Roots, the question is, do you want your battery bank to attach to the strap, or is it something you're going to keep in your pocket?
Probably keep it in my pocket, I would imagine. I'm not worried about balancing the headset. That to me seems very, very redneck, very ghetto,
Right,
very jerry rigged, like very weird
right.
to me.
I use a 20,000 milliamp hour, and it's super generic from Walmart. I think it's like on brand or something like that. Cost me $30, but man, you can charge that headset off of it. I don't know, something ridiculous like 5 or 6 times out of that one battery. So it's certainly worth the modest $30 price tag I paid for it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that for sure. Got to do it quick. But I will throw out there. I'm not planning on losing power, so it's not gonna happen.
Well, well, there you go. The
Mhm.
power of positive thinking. Let's hope not, Roots, because I mean, who wants to go a week without being able to flush their toilet, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't live in Kentucky. Um, I still flush it. I just have to add the water myself.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. My
So
bad. You got to go out to the well and get it yourself.
yeah, well, I don't have a well anywhere near. I don't even have a body of water that I can think of. Um, so I do have water. I've got a lot of water. So
Anyway, Quest 2 certainly a capable device and a compelling product at $300. But I mean, everybody's itching for that Quest 2 competitor, right? And we've been on the edge of our seats for a week. Even me, I've been fairly excited to finally see what this next HTC standalone headset is going to be like. The one they've been teasing for the last week. I mean, they put out that tweet with the little shiny, they put out that tweet with the little shiny logo, right? And like they put out this tweet that says it's your move. And Oculus actually responded to it by typing in some like chess talk, like they were making a chess move. And then HTC responded to that by doing the same thing. So I was thinking like the the best thing for them to do was to be launched their standalone this week, which everybody knows at this point that it's going to be a standalone headset. I mean, every VR show has went on and said it, right? Everybody on the edge of their seat waiting on this thing. And I thought that when they dropped it, they should just like tweet out checkmate, right? But today we finally got to see what HTC had in store for us all, Roots. And let me tell you, dude, it is worth every bit of the excitement and hype that it's got for the entire past week. They have finally announced the HTC Vive Tracker 3.0.
No, dude, no fucking way! Stop! Stop!
Well, uh, and I think that pretty much sums up my thoughts on this announcement. Roots, what do you think about this?
I'm baffled, man. You know, it's funny because immediately people were like defending it. And like, oh yeah, it's not. It's for the enthusiasts. It's for the VR chat enthusiasts. That's what
Right.
made me laugh because there's a million people that are going to run out and drop $300 on a on one tracker, right? Is that what it is? $300?
It's no, it's $130.
Oh God, only 130. Okay.
Only
Uh,
$130.
but you know, you got to have the full body track. I don't know, man, dude. Like, do
Look,
do
look,
we need it?
let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's a cool technology, right? To have these trackers. My whole issue with them the entire time has been that you've got to have at least two of them. You know, it would really help to have three or four of them. And they're $100 a piece. That's been my whole deal. They're $100 a piece. And what I mean, if I wanted to see any kind of change with regards to this product, it's not a longer battery life. It's not a smaller form factor. I want that price to come down. I want two in a pack for $100, right? But instead, they shrunk it down a little bit. They jacked the price up $30 more to $130. And I mean, it does exactly the same thing as the old trackers. And on top of that, we have a generic company making a generic version that I think is even smaller than this one, and it's going to cost less money and do exactly the same thing. So, you know, kudos HTC, great product, but this is not the type of thing that you try to hype for a week and talk shit to Oculus on, right? I mean, if you're going to talk shit to Oculus, you need to bring it. And Roots, they didn't bring it.
Yeah, well, somebody said it's 129, Brandon. So off a
Oh, okay, my
dollar.
bad.
And it uses one USB per tracker. So like you're gonna run into that. I mean, people bitched so the same people that are gonna rave about it, Wes, are gonna be the same people that said, "Man, our base stations are so much better than the CV1 because we don't have to use all of our USB ports up." The man, that is just insane to me, and it's indicative of HTC. It's why when everybody was starting to get excited in the Discord, I immediately said, "I'm not excited. Here's why."
Dude, I've been out of town all day today, but if I had been home, boy, I was going to make a compilation of all the shit that people have said about this HTC standalone, which, hey, let's be honest, there's going to be a HTC standalone headset this year, right? We know that. They've said that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're going to hype something for a week, knowing that people know your headset's coming, what do you expect people to think, right? And now this is what they've done, Roots. When it comes time to hype their new headset, they're going to be the boy that cried wolf, aren't they? Nobody's going to give a shit because they're going to like, what, 5 tracker 4.0? Who gives a shit, right? And everybody's going to tune out. So, let's just hope that their next headset has good inside out tracking and has a spec sheet that just blows everything out of the water. Because if it don't, I mean, they're almost out of strikes, right? I mean, this is like strike 5.
Well, for anybody that's funded normally, absolutely, you'd be done, buried. It just makes you wonder what's it going to take. I've heard people like Girillo that love HTC that are saying, I don't want another standalone headset. So you're losing that crowd because they've already got the wireless Pro, right? I guess the Vive Pro. So I don't know what they do, what their deal is, but hopefully for their sake, their headset is going to be phenomenal. That's the thing. They're going to charge a lot of money regardless. It's going to cost a lot of money, right?
Hey,
It's
dude,
HTC.
if the spec sheet warrants it, then charge a
Exactly.
fair amount of money. Like I'm good, and I've said this before. My price point is around $600-ish. If they go above that, I mean, then I'm instantly tuning them out. But if they have a compelling product, less than $600, I'll look at it, man, and I'll consider it. Even now, after everything, I will consider picking it up.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's the bottom line. And same thing with Apple, like if you put out a good enough product, people are going to buy it, It's just, I don't want to pay for something that for the HTC, it's not even an Apple brand, bro. Like I'm not getting the brand out of it even. You're overpaying for, I don't know what reason. So give me a reason, make it amazing. I don't care. Yeah, I'd probably pay $800 if it was phenomenal. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the VR community. It's really just all about the product at the end of the day. I mean, they could, release a shit product 50 times, but if number 51 is the best on the market, people are going to buy it. Pimax, if Pimax puts out the best PC VR headset ever tomorrow, people are going to buy it. And even if they just claim it as a crowd fund, people will buy it. People will kickstart Pimax again, knowing that they're going to deliver late and everything that they've already done before. If they have the right spec sheet and make the right promises, people are going to buy it. And the same thing goes for HTC. All they got to do is bring the product, right? And all of a sudden, people are going to forget all about Cosmos and all about the Vive Tracker 3.0 and every other misstep that they've made over the last 3 years.
Yeah, people don't care about that crap in the past. They just want the headset that they're getting now, right? They want it to be phenomenal. So,
I mean, Nakazi says the real nut punch is going to be when people realize that they can only use the base station 2.0 with it.
oh wow, yeah, that would be kind of a pain in the ass, right? You never know.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to start off by mentioning that because it was a good laugh this morning, Roots. I know. I mean, I learned it from Sebastian MRTV. I'm subscribed to his channel. It's a good channel. Check it out if you're into hardware. Um, but man, I couldn't stop laughing for that whole thing. And then
How were people in the
Cartman.
chat reacting for Sebastian's thing? Were they enjoy?
I don't know. I was laughing too hard, dude. I mean, I'm not just saying that. Like I was. You think Cartman was laughing hard just then, dude? I was busting my gut laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going everywhere and talking shit to all these dudes. I had like 5 windows open. Like, see.
That's funny.
Oh, it is funny. But anyway, we got a great show. We generally don't talk about hardware, but every now and then something like this pops up, and we just have to poke the bear a little bit. But as I mentioned, I've been out of town, so we're not going to have our usual like 2 to 3 games segment to start the show off. But we did have a chance to check out one game, and I don't know, Roots. I think you were kind of looking forward to this one a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah, actually I was. Because I enjoy skiing. Never been snowboarding, but I enjoy skiing in real life. It's been many years, but I'd like to go do it again. This is my closest chance these days to doing it, especially at the end of the snow season. And there goes Cyan again talking about VR chat, drooling over this tracking thing. Yeah, I'm sure those
Oh, I'm sure.
50 people are drooling, or however many people. But talk about small niche, small portion of people that play VR that would ever use the tracker. The VR chat community is a small niche. Yeah, there's more than 50 people, but it's a small niche.
Yeah,
So,
I would say that most of the people that use Vive trackers are probably doing stuff like VR chat, but at the same time, most of the people in VR chat that would use Vive trackers already have Vive trackers. You think these people are going to pay another $130 so that they could get better battery life out of the thing? I mean, are they really playing VR chat that long that they need to spend all this money on some more batteries?
yeah, I just think it wasn't that exciting in news. I mean, maybe if I was into full body tracking and VR chat and wanted to kick and stuff. It just
In
seems
fairness,
very,
too,
it's gimmicky. Mm,
in fairness too, that wasn't the only thing they announced. They also announced a face tracker
mm.
so that they can accurately mimic your facial expressions in VR. So again, another VR chat oriented consumer product. But again, I mean, this is something that it's been out there for a year already. I mean, you just had to get the dev kit if you wanted it. But this isn't like a new product we've never seen before.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, going to talk a little bit about Powder VR, but before we do that, let's say hello to our friends in chat. We already said hello to Scion and Onakazi, Radio Runt joining us as usual. Derail, hello, friend. Brandon in the chat. Acid, 3 times, Roots. You ever did acid 3 times?
3 times. Oh yeah, a couple times. I did three once. I did three hits in one eye. Does that count?
Jesse Kip in the chat, Lincoln Clay 670. He says, pound for pound, Quest 2 is the best value. I don't even think it's close if we're talking in terms of value. Mash Daddy in the chat says, hey, HTC, you're drunk. Go home. Yeah. D-Real says, came here for my fix. It was either this or heroin.
Oh God, stay away
Well,
from the heroin. Although if you live in Oregon, it's a great place for heroin. So
yeah. Maybe you ever try heroin, Roots?
no,
Great.
no.
Gets you really high.
Well, yeah,
Um,
that's what I've heard.
let's see here. I think that's going to. Oh, Hack, what's up, Hack? Hack's in the chat. It's a hack attack in the chat, Roots.
Yeah, he was in my stream last night. What's up, Hack?
Chris Richardson, hello, friend. Plenty of friends in the chat tonight, staying up late for their VR picks. Roots, nobody else giving them VR at the witching hour, just the virtual strangers. And one of these days we're going to pick a title for this show, but I don't know. I like VR tonight or late night VR or Strangers in the Night. They're all good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. We'll have to decide.
Anyway, let's talk. Well, no, we can just keep playing roulette with it, right, and pick a new title every week.
Yeah, it's true.
But let's talk about Powder VR here. This is a title from developer Rainsoft. By the way, big thank you to Rainsoft for providing us with review access. It's a Steam VR snow sports title. I wanted to describe it as a skiing title, but it's not just skiing, is it?
No, snowboarding as well, which is a little bit harder for me. Well, I guess it depends on how you go, how you race, because that's the thing. Once you have to figure out how to move, right? Because I literally thought only way you could move at first was to swivel your hips or bend your knees. And then I found that if I just like use my arms like this, that's the best way to turn skiing anyway.
You know who's great at swiveling their hips, bending their knees, and using their arms like this?
Oh God,
my mom!
I didn't know that about her. That's very new. Look, I like the skis. I said, did you unlock any skis? Because I didn't unlock anything. Yeah. Did you really?
Oh, sure did.
God. Wow.
Yeah, you unlock a pair by, and you pretty much just answered my question for me. I was going to ask you if you completed the tutorial, because that's how I unlocked my first set of skis was by completing the tutorial. And let me tell you, friend, that was a friggin' nightmare. That was not easy finishing the tutorial.
Now, what was not easy about it?
Did you get jumping?
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask if you got to a point where, like, I was trying to turn or do something, and I was turning, and it wasn't registering, and I kept doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then the guy said, "If you're stuck, you can always return to the lodge and I returned to the lodge. I said, "Fuck you, I'm
yeah,
out of here."
Dude. I kept saying that. If you're stuck, you can just go to the lodge. I mean, I probably heard that thing 50 times. But I'm keep saying to myself, if I can't complete the tutorial, what is the point for me to go to the lodge? Like I'm going to go start a race and not complete that.
Well, I did,
but
I'll tell you what, that's how I learned, because I just went out and threw myself on the course because I couldn't. Like, I'm like, what is happening? Like, I'm only going to sit and try to turn for 15 minutes, like it wasn't even 15 minutes. And at some point I'm going to say, screw it. I'm out of here. So I did. I jumped in. I went straight to the world tour, bro. And I didn't do too good for a little bit, but I learned, and then I did better. So
yeah, I did pretty good with the turning, man. I didn't have much trouble with that. I did have problems with back aches because the way you pick up speed is by squatting. So after going through the tutorial like 30 times, by the time I got there to the end, my back was really hurting. And I don't know if I wasn't timing the jumps just right, but I would always fall just a little bit short. And as you know, it puts you, well, I guess you might not know. Maybe you didn't make it to the jumps.
I didn't make it to the jumps. I did make some jumps in the game, though.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that too. But I would always come a little short and then slide back down the hill and have to start over again. And I'd over and over and over and over again. And, it got to the point where I was thinking to myself, man, is this going to be downstream VR whitewater kayaking all over again? Because that's what it felt like, right? It felt like, a game that you could kind of control, but not really.
Yeah. Well, see, once I figured out how to do the turning better, because it's like all about swiveling your hips and moving your arms like this, right? And so your skis will turn. And then you can actually, you've also got a snap turn. If you get used to moving, the whole key is to get as much speed as you can get, right? But also you got to go through those flags, at least in the first initial stages. before you get to the races. You have to do that first part, right? Where I guess you unlock some clothing. I don't know. I never checked out the clothing I unlocked, but once I figured out how to maneuver to steer, I did pretty good. And I didn't do as good as at the snowboarding, but I only tried it a couple times. So
Yeah, I didn't try the snowboarding. I only put maybe an hour, hour and a half into this game because again, limited for time with the traveling and all. So I just did skiing. But I gotta say, man, after I finally made it past the tutorial, and I did complete it, literally, it was like this. I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna try it one more time. And if I don't get it this time, I'm gonna, even as bad as I hate to, I'm gonna just go to the lodge without completing the
mm.
tutorial. And I did it this one last time, and I made the first jump, and I came this close to the second one, and I was like, "Ugh, one more." And then when I did it one more time, I completed the thing, and then on to the regular courses.
Mm.
And I will say this for the tutorial: as difficult as it was to make those jumps and find the end of it did prepare me fairly well to play the game, because by the time I got into the actual world tour, I, now admittedly on easy level, I did turn it down to easy
Mm.
after that killer tutorial. Uh, I was killing it, dude. Gold medal every time.
Mm.
And I gotta say, what a turnaround from the tutorial to the game. Polar opposites. Like the tutorial was snow hell. But
That's why I
when I
left
got
quick.
to
That's why I
yeah,
left out of there, bro.
you did the right thing. Because when you get into the game, you really don't use as much of that stuff as you'll think. If you can steer, you've got 90% of it down. And I thought it was fun, man. I enjoyed going down those courses so much faster than the tutorial, like breakneck fast. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, how well, I thought it was cool when I was racing against these other players. I was thinking, what would be cool is if like Wes was one of those guys and Radio Runt and because I know the multiplayer is coming. They say this is in early access. I enjoyed my time in it. I know Radio Runt says, it's got a lot of work to do. He wasn't that impressed with it. It is early access, and if, compared to other skiing games I've played in VR, I thought it was pretty good. It did feel a lot very realistic as far as the steering and stuff, and like this, stopping quick and plowing the snow or whatever it's called. I don't even know what the name
It
is.
felt like it felt a lot like Rush, to be honest, the wingsuit game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I agree there is room for improvement, and they are improving it. I can't wait to see multiplayer. I would like to see another mountain. I don't know if you saw a second mountain. Maybe there's a mountain, other
There is
mountains in the tour.
there's like there's three or four different levels but you have to unlock them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I've seen that there exist. I just can't get to them. They're grayed out. I'm not good enough yet, Wes. Got some
Well,
work
see,
to do.
this was my problem with it. Like, I was literally running out of time because the show was coming up, and each level is broken up into 6 events, each with a different rule set. So, the first one, you'll have to hit checkpoints and get all 10 of them, or you don't medal. The second one will be a race where you're racing AI competitors. You know, again, uh, top three gets a medal, gold, bronze, silver. Um, and then there's freestyle where you do tricks for points, and you have to get so many points to medal. Now, my problem with it is all of the checkpoint and race events I gold medaled in, but the freestyle events that are based on tricks, the tutorial never showed you how to do any tricks,
Mm.
and I scored zero on
Ooh.
that because I don't know how to do tricks and there's no explanation of it. So
I
I
felt bad.
couldn't,
I did 200, and I don't know how I did 200, but it was like the low mark was 1,000, and I was like, "What the hell am I supposed to do here?"
yeah, I got zero. And I couldn't unlock the second course, which looked so incredible, because I couldn't get that one medal. You have to medal in all of them to unlock the next one. and I couldn't get that one medal because I didn't know how to do it. It wasn't in the tutorial.
Hmm. Well, just got to spin around, do a spin, or you know. That.
If I'd been in the quest, I would have. Like I tried that. Like when I was in the air, I started to do a 360, and I got halfway around, and I was wearing my G2,
Hmm.
and I felt my cable start to wrap around me, and I said, you know what? No, I'm not playing my quest right now. So I spin back around the way I came, and got 0 points for it.
Well, yeah, it's funny is I did use the quest too, but I didn't spin around. They told you to keep your feet, pretty much keep your feet in place, right? You're supposed to as much as you can. So like to the point where every single time you go into anything, any new environment for a new track, the first thing they have you do is recalibrate because so that made me not want to move. And so I was thinking that because I did play wirelessly and I thought, okay, I could spin around, but I don't think I'm supposed to. So I didn't. What about, let
Oh,
me ask you this. Did you turn your avatar off? Somebody had said in the Discord, if you turn off your character, it frees up a lot of resources. And it seemed like it was a little um, resource hungry. So I turned it off and it did seem like it made a difference.
yeah, it did for me too. The first time that I played, when I played through the tutorial, which again took me a while to get through that. But after that, I jacked everything up as high as it would go in terms of graphics. Again, I'm on my HP Reverb G2, turned everything all the way up and started in the world
Hmm.
tour, and is so often the case with my G2, Steam VR blue screen and crashed.
Okay.
So I didn't switch headsets like I normally do when this happens. Instead, I went back in the game and I did what you just said there. I turned off the full body avatar, and after that, everything worked flawlessly. It was a beautiful looking game. I mean, obviously, that first little bit there where you're at the top and in the tent, that was a little, a little shaky. But after you get on the courses, everything looks really good.
Yeah.
And again, breakneck fast and so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We got was it Terhe Hawkinson's Powder
Don't
VR.
don't 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 try it. Don't try to pronounce it, Rich. Just say Powder VR.
Powder
The
VR,
developers in
yeah.
chat. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining us. We're not going to butcher your name by
I just did.
trying to pronounce it, but thank you for the access and thank you for joining the chat.
Absolutely. Person, I guess is a huge Powder VR fan, according to Radio Run, and because person was saying on up in the comments or chat that you can figure out you've learned all the tricks on their website. So
Yeah, I did notice in the I connected with their public relations person through Twitter. That's how I got connected with these fine folks, and she did mention in the tweet or the direct message that she sent me that there's a guide, and she gave me a web page to go to
oh, okay.
that I didn't go to. I didn't. I got to be honest.
Well,
And
we're guys. We don't read instructions. We just kind of try to put things together, and then we'll
you
figure
should have
out.
saw me, Rich, trying to do tricks. Like I was trying to do skateboard tricks. Like I'd get up in the air and I was trying to grab my skis and anything I could do to get a point. The only time I ever scored any points was by accident in the tutorial. Like it was telling me, "Whoa, way to go, awesome 180," and I was like, I was just trying to make the jump.
Mm. Well, you can see
And
that some of these things there. And look, there's this person did a trick right there, but you can see like a lot of times there'll be like arrows in that one. I guess it's the trick one, like lead showing you where to go, where there's a trick area. Like, oh, there's arrows going up over this area. I thought the freestyle was super cool, because it was like this huge area, and I'm thinking a couple times I went different areas. I went off this cliff, and I thought, oh shit, I'm gonna go out of bounds. I don't know if there is an out of bounds. I mean, obviously, there's got to be a place where you're just not able to go because it's not the course. But it was so open. I would imagine that. I mean, it's freestyle. You can go any way you want. I thought that was cool. So how many times are you gonna be able to go a different way and try different tricks and just I felt like I do in skiing, where you're on a new slope and you go down and you're come over a hill and you're not sure which way to go and you just pick one way. And I like the fact that I wasn't told, oh, you can't go this way. That was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Again, kind of like Rush, right? Kind of like Rush VR, where you can kind of go the way that you want to go. And I really enjoyed that first freestyle course because they introduced the ice lakes into it, and
Yeah.
you can get going really fast on that. And I found it interesting because the route that I took during the freestyle was a completely different route when you go to the next one, which is a race on the same track. And like if you follow where all the other skiers are going, they went a completely different way than I went the first time. So I was like taking shortcuts and stuff on them. And again, I did quite well after my lengthy experience with the tutorial.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't. I don't have the patience for that. But no, I really enjoyed it and would like to know some tricks. And like you said, I want to try the other mountains, man. Like that was the only thing that disappointed me was I didn't I didn't have enough time and I didn't have enough skill to be able to try anything at one of the new Mountain West.
Yeah, well, I want to do. There's a course, a whole level that has like castles and stuff in it. I don't know if you saw that,
Mm,
but that thing looks awesome. That's what I wanted to get to. But again, I couldn't figure out how to medal in the freestyle, so I couldn't unlock the other courses.
mm,
Um, I really enjoyed my time in the game. I thought it was fun after I got past the tutorial, of course. I didn't enjoy the tutorial very much, but two things. There's two things that I want, and I think it would be a great game if it had these two things. One is a freestyle tutorial. There should be a separate tutorial teaching you the tricks and letting you practice them. Two, multiplayer support. I need friends in there with me. I need Radio Rut. I need Scion. Maybe not person because apparently he's pretty good at
he's
it.
too good at it to run with us.
But besides that, I need people in there I can embarrass. And give me those two things. I think that this one will be ready for full release.
Yeah, and now, what are your thoughts on more? And of course, on this, some of these things are devs are like, no, no, no. I don't know. Can you get more people than 4 people in there? I'd like about 8 people if it's like live people. I know somebody in the Discord says they're working on multiplayer, so it's coming. And if not, then Powder VR let me know. Say Roots, you're wrong. But it's never coming. But I agree. I would love to be able to race in there and race against my friends in real time, not asymmetrically, right?
Hey, so I guess while we're asking for it, right? While the wish list is open, they said they're bringing it to other platforms, right? Quest, PSVR. Why not cross-platform multiplayer? Let's go for it all, man.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, that would definitely increase the player pool for sure, and would definitely make them have to have a dedicated server. So I don't know. It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Powder VR says we've revamped it at least twice. I think the next iteration will have the tutorial incorporated into the first runs. That would be much better because my whole problem with the tutorial, especially at first, is you can't get any speed going on it. Like when you first go into the game, it kicks you right into the tutorial, and
Oh,
you really have to count on your setup being correct in Steam VR because if it's not, you're going to be a little too tall or a little too short. Your sticks are going to be a little bit too long, which is constantly interfering with the ground, right? And there are solutions to these things at the lodge. Like
mm,
there's a calibration to set your height, to center yourself in the play area, to raise and lower the floor. This corrects all of that, but you don't get to that until after the tutorial. So like I was struggling in the tutorial the whole time because anytime I would finally get some speed up, and it's a relatively flat course, so it takes some work to get your speed up. But anytime I'd get some speed up, my stick would drag the ground and it would kind of turn me a little bit and slow me down. And if it had been like what they're saying they're going to do here, and you go to the lodge first, and the tutorial is just kind of incorporated into the larger runs, it would have avoided all of that headache. So I think that's a great move that they should definitely make the tutorial, at least make it a lot more like a normal run, because they're very different experiences right now, and put that height and floor calibration right at the front, so you can make sure you have that right from the very beginning, because again, I had trouble with that in the tutorial.
Absolutely. And Powder VR says they did not commit to multiplayer yet. So I apologize. I misspoke from somebody's lies in the Discord. But we would like it if it's possible. It's on our list of wants and needs.
The wish list.
The wish list. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, early access, as they said. So, obviously a work in progress here. I did fail to take down the price here. I'm thinking this is a $20 game, if I'm not mistaken. Give
I
me just a
thought it
second.
was.
I'll confirm it.
Did you do much steering with your legs, or was it mostly arms,
Um,
or both?
I mostly I use both, but after my back got tired, I just started using
Your arms.
my arms. It made it a lot easier.
Man, did it feel a lot like real skiing to you?
It did go well, I mean, it felt like what I imagined skiing would feel like. I have never been skiing.
Okay.
But when I was low to the ground gaining speed, it felt what I imagined a proper VR skiing game should feel like. Um, so yeah, I was pleased with it from from that uh, aspect of it.
It's $20 at the moment, is what Powder says.
What do you think, Roots? Is that fair?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, obviously, once it gets ironed out, and hopefully, like I said, they say Powder says they're an indie developer, so it's a question of resources. So I would love multiplayer for sure. But see, I haven't tried all the other courses. I mean, I only got to play the one mountain, so I mean, only got a small smidge of content, and it was already really cool. So
Yeah, I think that it will be worth $20 once they have all the tracks added in, because I think the last level on there hadn't been added in yet, but they had pictures of what the courses are going to look like. So I think after they have all of the tracks in there, and make it so that that you can learn everything in the game without going to a website out of the game, because literally, I mean, let's be honest here. What they're saying is, in order for me to get to the second level, I have to go to a website to learn how to play the game. You know, uh, you should be able to learn it all inside the headset. So I think after they've got the tutorial ironed out and have all the levels in the game, I think that this is absolutely a $20 game. It could possibly be worth even more than that, but I don't think that it's an unfair price by any stretch.
yeah, absolutely, I agree. Blamcrotch said two things. One, he solidified or his wife did a PS5 yesterday, I think. So he's going to be joining you, bro. And then the
Oh, so
second,
did he get one? Is that what you're saying?
yep, yeah, his wife was able to get it.
Awesome.
He's waiting for it to be shipped. And the second thing is exactly what I thought was he's twice as likely to buy a game if it has multiplayer, and convince his buddies to play it with him. And that's the
Well,
absolute truth.
well, we've said it before. Having friends in the game, it makes an average game good and a good game great, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially something like this.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
competitive activity to start with. It kind of makes sense to have, but it's easy for us to say here. We're not game developers. I got under, that's got to be a lot of hassle to put that sort of thing in a game, because you have to, you either have to pay for dedicated servers, especially, if you're going to do cross-platform multiplayer, then you have to have dedicated servers. But even if you're going to do just uh, platform specific multiplayer, uh, I mean, there's still a lot of work there to set up so that you know players can host matches locally. I'm sure it's no small task, and I mean, there's a reason why it's not in there already.
Yeah, true.
All right. I think that's a fairly positive review. I mean, if you're into this sort of game, I would say if you like games like Rush or like the downstream whitewater kayaking, then you're probably going to like this as well. It is a work in progress, but I think that it's fairly priced at $20. Yeah, I think it's worth checking out.
Yeah, and Radio Round agrees. He says with more tracks and updates, it has a lot of potential, and that's exactly how I feel. Now, granted, I've only tried the one mountain, so you know.
Yeah. You gonna go back in?
Yeah, I'll go back in for sure. You know, it seems like one of those games that would be the better you're gonna, it's gonna be the better you get at it, the more fun you're gonna have, right? Like once you get really good at movement and tricks and just, I mean, you're gonna be flying over hills and just, I mean, it's just gonna be phenomenal. I like that. I like skiing, so I kind of miss it.
Yeah, I like the speed of it, and I'm hoping that as you progress in the game, that it gets even faster. I appreciate it when developers go for it, right? You know, a lot of game developers, uh, they kind of nerf their games for the new players so people don't get sick or uncomfortable. I appreciate it when a developer says, you know what? Here you go as fast as you want, make it as crazy as you want, and then if it's too much for you, then there's modifiers here to tone it down a bit. But this is a fast game, and I'm hoping as you progress through the later courses and the higher difficulty levels that it gets even faster, because that was really probably my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this, and you don't, I guess you don't have to admit it or not, but did you die? Did you hit anything at all?
Oh,
Any
I
trees?
was going to ask you that. Yeah, I hit a tree. Did you hit a tree?
Yeah, I hit a tree hard, bro. I smacked them a couple times and it went red, and but a couple times I hit trees like smack right on, and it was done. And like they tell you what bones you broke, and obviously you got to start over.
Yeah, it makes a sickening thud, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I would never want to. Didn't somebody famous die that way? Um, I can't remember who it was.
I
Somebody
don't know, man.
years ago hit a tree and bam. Yeah, I could. I mean, if you're going fast enough, bro, and you hit a tree at 90 miles an hour, yeah, it's not gonna be good.
Yep. In the tree part of the tree, that's what they say.
Yeah, what a way to go, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can think of worse ways, I guess.
Yeah, me too.
Crafty Crayons joining the chat says, "Congrats on the 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. We're quite happy with the all the recent growth. Thank you for the sentiment." Sunny Bono Radio Rut says, "Thank you,
Yeah, that's who it
Radio
was.
Rut."
Sonny Bono. Yeah, what a horrible way to die for Sonny.
And Jesse Kip says, "Thumbs up for taking risks." I agree, 100%.
Yep, absolutely.
Anyway, let's move on to our monthly ritual. We didn't get to do game of the month last week because all of the you know avalanche, if you will, of VR gaming news that happened. We decided to push it off a week. So here we are on the 10th of March, talking about February's game of the month and looking over the list. I mean, we've had worse months, haven't we?
Yeah. Actually, there was a couple of decisions, or when I looked at the category, I had to think about it. A couple of them I had to. It was pretty much a no brainer. So it's one of those things, right?
Yeah, I would say that there's two very difficult ones, to be honest. And one that's, I wouldn't call it a no brainer, but I think there's a pretty obvious leader in it. But I'll probably lean on the chat, to be quite honest, just to verify that.
Yeah,
But
that's
we'll
exactly
get to
the
that.
There was one that I was thinking the same thing. We're going to need the chat to kind of give us some direction on.
Yeah. But Caleb VR in real, or says Caleb VR real life not included with the $10 super chat. Thank you very
Yeah,
much, sir.
really appreciate it.
It's Caleb VR. I think real life not included is it's the comment, right? It looked like it was the whole thing was his name, but thank you, Caleb. We appreciate that very much. Rocking the awesome Doom shirt in the his picture there, his profile pic. Roots, did you know? I thought people were speculating the other day when they were talking about it, but apparently Doom 3 PSVR is only going to be $20.
Really? Wow.
Even the physical copies, they're all just $20.
Well, that tells me a lot. It tells me, I mean, how much resources, how hard was it for them to move it over if it's only $20? I mean, if something was really didn't cost, I mean, granted, you can charge as much as you want, but they're guaranteeing that there's no reason not to pick it up at $20, right? There's a AAA VR game that everybody,
Dude.
I mean, that's
And
phenomenal.
I said this earlier on Twitter today, dude. Listen, it's fighting demons with chainsaws in VR.
Yeah. Who doesn't love that, right?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm it's only less than a couple weeks away, right? I guess 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. It's like the 29th,
9th, I
Look
thought.
at the exact. No, it's like 27th or something like that. Hold on, I'll find out.
All of this from your shirt, Caleb. That's how we roll, bro. Everything spins off
That's
in every
right.
which direction.
March 29th, you called it, Roots. March
Oh,
29th.
wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah, aim controller. That's the thing. New textures, new shaders, new sound effects, aim support. That's why. People are saying, why do we care about this game? We already have it. That's why. You don't have this copy of it, bro. You have a mod.
Yeah. Yeah, and a mod's not going to be built from the ground up. Mods are good, but you can tell me that as much as I love the Luke Ross real mod, that if GTA 5 was built from the ground up, people aren't going to go run out there and buy it.
Well, here's what I find fascinating, Roots. First of all, the version that's on Quest, and again, I don't know about the PC, but the version that's on Quest doesn't have all this DLC like the PSVR copy is going to have.
Mm.
What really throws me for a loop is that $20 price tag. There's a lot of hands in that kitty, right? I mean, we've got the developer, right? Archiact. We have the owner, Bethesda/id, and then we have Sony. They're getting a piece of that pie too. So, I mean, they must be planning on selling an ass load of these games, man.
I think they're anticipating a huge sales. Yeah, absolutely. Are you froze? Oh, I think Wes froze up, bro. By myself. I'm alone. I feel so lonely now. So yeah, I want Doom 3 VR legit if possible as well, Jesse. Are you talking on PC VR or what? That's weird. I've never seen because oh wait, okay, it dropped a little bit there, but it says that we're not dropping frames. You guys I'm still here with you, right? Or is it just me? Am I the one that dropped? I don't think I'm the one that dropped. I think I'm still with you. Onikazi says, I do remember seeing Dr. Beefum, or maybe Beef, or maybe it's on the page someplace that they're working on the DLC. Okay. You're talking about the Quest version, I'm assuming, right? Yeah, I'm live. Roots live. Somebody was just saying I should do a Twitch chat where I'm just kind of watching some gameplay of myself and just talking about it, right? I might actually do that at some point. Yeah, I don't know where Wes is. Now you got a little bit of little Roots. I'm assuming he's gonna let me see if maybe he linked
I'm back.
He's back.
I'm
Okay.
back.
Woo. Woo! Now I was just having a
Yeah,
little chat there with them about my Twitch.
and I think you know how your modem or your router will update firmware sometimes, and it'll restart right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
I think maybe something like that happened because you know, you were talking and then you stopped, and I noticed in my Zoom window that I was still moving and everything. So I'm like,
You
well, it
thought it
can't
was
be on
me.
my end. And then everything else quit, and then I knew I'd lost I had lost my internet service. But looks like we're back. The chat came back first, and then everything else just kind of fell in. I didn't even have to click on
That's
anything. It just all came back.
that's kind of nice. And oh yeah, I had the same moment. I was like, is it me? But I looked at the OBS and saw that my numbers are still good. So, and then I had the chat verify. I had my moment of like, oh God, I feel I'm by myself, kind of lonely here. But then I remember there's people with me, so it was okay.
Jesse Kip says HTC hacks confirmed.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that means, but
That means HTC. They caught the
oh, like
intro.
oh yeah, maybe they're pissed, right? That's right. Well, I don't know what to tell them. Anyway, they should be happy about Viveport.
Yeah,
Always talking
didn't you
about
see
Viveport.
us? See how gleeful we were at the beginning? All that laughter. Come on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, let's get on to this game of the month discussion. And let's start with PSVR since we're already talking about it. We actually did have 3 releases this month for PlayStation VR. You know, the dead, PlayStation VR that has recently sprung back to life in a big way. But we had 3 releases, the first of which popular with the people who like it. You know, the people who like it love it. All 10 of them, they all love it.
Mm.
Spice and Wolf VR 2. It's a sequel, Roots, from Gem Drops Incorporated, released on February 3rd. Like $25 for this thing.
Mm.
Um, this is more story than game. It's more like an anime episode. But there are some like mini game type things in it, I think. Again, not something that everybody's going out and buying, but the people who liked the first one loved it and they ran straight out and bought this one. The 10 people that got it, uh, pretty pretty high reviews.
Okay. I guess you have to like anime for it, right? Because you want to go into this world and you want to think, wow, I want to go into this world of anime and feel like I'm in it. And I just don't care. I've never really liked anime, so it would have to be the coolest story. And I mean, it would actually have to have a legitimate, really good story behind it, not just some anime People with anime are very weird, Wes. Like it's, and not in a weird way that they're weird people, but it's the way that their love for it is so bizarre to me. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, well, I mean, teach
Teach
their
their
own,
own.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody's different and has different tastes. So if this is your thing, then good on you. I always get cracked up at how expensive these uh, these experiences are because they're not long, right? They're like all of these are around an hour long, and they're like 25, 30, $40,
Mm.
and people pay for it, man.
Well, Onikazi says it's basically a VR visual novel. I get it,
Right.
and it's just not my thing. It came after, I was too old by the time it came out. This type of stuff came out, and it just lost on me. But people that love it really love it. So
All right. Oh, Hack says it's all subs. They can't even dub it, man, for $25. Come on, bro. Get that shit out of here and take it back to the Japan store. We don't need it.
yeah, yeah. I don't. I'm not big on subtitles either, especially in VR. I would imagine that's kind of um, not good.
Anyway, on the list because it was one of the 3 PSVR releases in February. But when we move to number 2 on the list, Roots, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting.
Mm.
Because this is a game that I own on PC that I'm thinking about buying again on PSVR just because I want to play it on PSVR. and that is Moose Life. This game come to us from Lamasoft, aka Jeff Minter, on February 16th, 2021. And for those of you who are new to our channel, I have never missed an opportunity to express my love for this game. When it came out, I beat it in pretty short order, and just looking at the footage, Roots makes me want to pick it up and beat it again.
Man, you know who else wants to beat it?
My mom!
Oh yeah.
I was hoping you'd pick that one up, man.
Blamcrotch says I just got a Sonlocki VR gun stock and it's better experience than the PlayStation VR gun. So that's interesting. How much was that, Blam? Expensive?
Well, we're gonna find out in real time, Roots, because I'm intrigued. People start throwing around words like better than the PSVR gun. Now, I do question his opinion a little bit because anybody who doesn't know that it's the aim controller probably didn't spend enough time with it. But Sandlocki VR plus 3D printing. Sandlocki Shop magnetic rifle gun stock for Quest 1 and Quest 2.
Hmm.
Looks cool.
What's
$90. I mean, that's not so bad.
Yeah, it's right in your wheelhouse, bro.
Quest 2 right-handed.
So Blam, tell us what you like about it. Like I mean, obviously it's got the magnets. You're using regular controllers, right?
You know what? Roots $10 of that is a sling. Actually, it's optional. You can take the sling off and get it for $79.99.
Oh wow, you got to buy the sling though, dude, just for those moments, like for games like what's it called? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you would use a sling for. I guess because you're still gonna need to move around, right? I was gonna say for Population 1, but I don't know how it would work. Oh, Blamcrotch made a video. Nice. We'll post it in the self promo in the Discord below. Actually, here, let me hit the Discord button so I'm not having a spinning thing there. But yeah, put it in the Discord. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'm curious. $65. Wait, what? That's not the one I just looked at. It was $90, $80 without the sling. Maybe you got a different version. The one I was looking at was for Quest controllers. Maybe you got a different one. Let's see here. Products. Quest 1, Quest 2. Dual magnetic gun. They make a ping pong paddle.
Maybe it went up.
And a pistol.
Since you got it. This game looks trippy, Wes. It'd be good for Colorado time.
There's a do-it-yourself kit that uses like PVC pipe. I don't want that though.
Oh, I got it on eBay. eBay offer.
Let's see. Well, you know what? I would buy one for that. I'd buy one right now for that.
Well, it's not that much more. $80 or $90.
Dude, you got to have draw a line somewhere, though. I mean, 120 is not that much more than 90, and 150 is not that much more than.
Well, you got to draw the line somewhere, but I would say under $100 if for a good gun stock is a good deal.
I'm curious. At $90. I'm in at $60.
Oh, curious to watch the video, and then you'll be in at 90. You know, just don't let just stop feeding your kids for a week, and you can justify it.
Right. I will say this, that I don't remember who it was, maybe Corporate Zombie. Somebody came through, 4 months ago, 5 months ago with a decent looking $80 one that I brought up on the show and we looked at and we thought it looked cool. We didn't buy that one, you know what I mean, at $80. So
that's true.
And I think that it probably would improve the PCVR experience quite a bit. I don't know that I would say that this gun stock is better than an aim controller with its haptics and it's games that are designed for it that you don't have to calibrate and
well, maybe not.
I mean? Maybe
not for you, but for Blamcrotch.
Well, again, to each their own.
Yeah. Well, he's going to. We got the video, so we can check out the video on self promo on the Discord. If you're curious, definitely check it out. Check out Blamcrotch's channel.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm going to look at it
Yeah,
after the show.
yeah, me too.
But anyway, back to Moose Life Roots. Um, I got to imagine Acid times three would probably love this game, right?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, man. There's some things that you probably don't want to be. It might be too overwhelming because this is pretty crazy. It's
Oh,
definitely good
dude,
Colorado time.
it'd be beautiful,
It would be
beautiful.
beautiful, and the headset's got to be. You need to be able to see this with just staring straight ahead. Then you're really tripping. But it would definitely be crazy for sure.
I like the Minotaur Arcade Volume. What
Four
was it? Volume one.
or one.
Uh, uh, I wanted to call it Volume two for some reason, but it's the
I
only one we have.
I
So,
thought of four for some reason, but that's obviously wrong.
but Grid Runner and Goat Up. I mean, they were okay, but everybody kind of wanted a follow up to Polybius because Polybius is one of the best games in VR. If you don't believe me, just drop the $6 and find out yourself. But everybody wanted Minotaur Arcade to be the proper follow up to Polybius, and it wasn't. So in that aspect, it was a disappointment. Moose Life, much more up to that task, a much more Polybius like experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Visual overload, audio visual, sensory overload. The name of the game here. You have to be able to focus through unnatural amounts of stimuli, and it's a learned skill. And there's 50 levels here, just like Polybius, for you to sharpen your skills on. And you have the same game modes, exact same game modes as you have in Polybius. So there's a classic mode, which allows you to pick up from your previous best and continue on. And then there's pure mode, which you just keep going until you're dead, and then you have to start all over again. I made it pretty deep in pure mode. I made it into like the 30s, I think. Never did make it through all 50 in pure mode, but I did in classic mode. And it didn't, again, within a week, I was done with this one.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. I can't remember how far I made it into pure mode, but sure as hell was not in the 30s, maybe 15, 20.
Blamcrotch says Lucky's 27 was the seller on eBay. They have them right now for $45 or best offer plus $15 shipping. So $60 or best offer right now. I will definitely be looking into that
Yeah,
immediately after the end of the show.
that's right in your window, bro. $60.
Yeah, if it's the black magnetic one, I don't want that PVC one, but if it's the good one that I saw, the 80 to $90 one on their webpage, then 100% I'm in on that.
Yeah, cool.
But anyway, normally I would say that it's a slam dunk, right? Moose Life, this is my jam. But on the 25th of February, Game Dust brought us another one of our surprise hits of 2020 to PSVR. And that, of course, was Jupitergrad. Uh, you know, Probably the best swinging locomotion in VR. And people get this confused, and I want to clarify something. When I say that the locomotion in this game, they did it better than Winlands, I'm not saying that this is a better game than Winlands. And to be quite honest, I've never played the first Winlands. I've only played Winlands 2, which I would consider to be a better overall game than Jupiter God. Jupiter God's kind of short. And
What if they were both the exact same length?
I still probably would go with Winlands because the gameplay is more diverse.
It's multiplayer as well.
There's
The thing about
multiplayer, yeah.
this, it's different. It's a platformer, puzzler, um, story. I even went into this the other day, Wes, wireless, and was just going through some levels because I just enjoy the way the game plays. The way it feels. Definitely a really good game.
Yeah,
Sure.
the handling in this game is superb. Like after you get used to the controls, you can really pull some stuff off in here, can't you?
Yeah, yeah, because there's different things on there besides just the swinging, and that's where it's almost better than Winlands in a way as far as the movement, because you got that extra little mechanism on the joysticks that are, I guess they're pulleys, right? And so you can swing and you can use that as an offset to do different things at the same time as you're doing you're swinging, you're using those. You've got that blower thing, the fan thing that usually when you're swimming, but you can actually fly when you're I mean, there's just so much to it, dude. It seems very simple, but I still say if you haven't played through this game, I don't know what you're doing. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome game, and it's only $15.
Yeah, yeah, definitely worth playing all day long. And I'm hoping for more levels or a sequel because I enjoyed it that much.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to imagine with the success they've had with this one, we can expect bigger things from them, right? Because they had Never out before, which, got a little bit of play, but, it didn't break any records in terms of sales. You can buy that game fairly regularly for less than $5. So they parlay that little bit of scratch into this little hidden gem here, and it only remained hidden for about 5 minutes. We trumpeted it from the mountaintops before it even released on PC, right? That this game was awesome, and apparently people heard us, and then they told people, and then they told people, and now everybody's played this game, and everybody knows it's awesome. Um, Onikazi says Windlands 2 is longer. Didn't finish it, but I remember people remarking that it wasn't that long. Uh, it wasn't that long, but Uberdegrad is very short.
I'd say Winlands 2 with four people probably took us between 6 and 8 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and there's just a lot of trial and error, and you're swinging around, you're going one way, that way, going back, forth.
The
It's a fairly
bosses
long.
aren't pushovers either.
Yeah, that's true. The boss fights took quite a while as well, like 20-30 minutes a piece, right? So,
Right, right. And that's really where I feel like the big thing in terms of which game is better between the two. I think that's a big thing that sets Windlands apart. Not only is it not linear, like Uberdegrad's a fairly linear game, but the enemies and the boss fighting in Windlands 2 is what makes it really fun.
yeah. Yeah, that's actually a really good game. And I'm surprised when people say they didn't enjoy Windlands too.
Who
Um,
said that?
I think, well,
Ban them.
yeah, we can't. He's a moderator. I think Radio Runt said that he didn't when we first started playing it. I think it was him that wasn't. He was like not that impressed, but he did end up warming up more to it towards the end. But
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Yeah, um, I like the difficulty. There are some very hard to get to areas in the game, and again, I enjoyed swinging and shooting. And that was fun.
yeah, absolutely. And Onikazi makes the perfect point, and this is the point we make all the time. At $15, it with the length, it's perfect. It's great. If they had tried 25, it would have been a different story, right? And that's what we say all the time. The price makes a huge difference on how it's going to be received. Um,
Yeah,
and
you know who else charges more based on length?
My mom!
wow, and less or more.
Because the length routes
Mm.
determines how it's going to be received.
Well, that's true. That is very true. 100%.
All right. Andy McAvoy says 6 to 8 hours, not with me playing. Never really got the hang of it. Personally found it frustrating. There's some
There's a learning
there's some
curve.
yeah, there's some nuances to the controls that the game isn't very obvious with. And if you don't play with friends, it's kind of hard to figure this stuff out on your own.
Yeah.
But when you're in there with people who are experienced, they can tell you, hey, hit this button to let the slack out, or you can sling yourself instead of swinging, things like that, that really make a difference when it comes to the more difficult areas. You really need to have that extra level of knowledge with regards to the controls.
They got pretty hard too, didn't they? After a while, like some of those places you had to get to were way up in the middle, and you'd have to sling yourself in such a way and grab it. And some of the spike things are there, and It was pretty cool.
Makes me want to play it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I know we already did a video way back forever ago on it, but I think it's been long enough now to revisit it. To
Yeah,
be
but that
quite
was when the
honest,
other guys were there. This would just be me and you. It'd be a
other
little bit.
guys,
Yeah, yeah,
what other guys?
yeah. I don't know. It's like a bad dream I woke up from. Um,
Anyway, so there we have it. Spice and Wolf VR 2, Moose Life, Jupiter God. And Roots, I had to really ponder and think hard about this for 5 minutes. And then I realized, you know what? I have more fun playing Moose Life. And I got to be honest about it. So, yeah, that's what my vote goes to. What about you?
I'm kind of in between. I could go either way. So I'll say for the sake of both games are amazing, and I trumpet Moose Life as well. We call it Moose Life.
All right. Well, surprised me. I expected you to go the other way with it there, but I'll take it. And Moose Life it is.
Yeah, and I enjoyed them both, and so I think they're both were like neck and neck.
So I'm going to actually go in and change the notes so I don't have to compile it for the 2021 show and go back and watch every video to find out who won. Because that's what I did for the 2020 show, Roots.
Yeah, well, and I say I got the channel hidden and it's still up there locked, or maybe it's still you can see, you just can't have access to it. So I was thinking the 2020 show, I'm just going to leave all that information there because there's stuff that you pull back from at the end of 2021. Just having all that stuff there will make it a lot easier as well.
What do you think? Jupiter God deserves a runner up,
Absolutely.
honorable mention?
Yeah, absolutely.
For those of you who don't know what this all is about, this just isn't some hyperbole that we're doing for the sake of having a show. I mean, it is that, but it's also um, plays into the end of the year. At the end of every year, or I guess technically the beginning of the next year, we have a blowout show, right? That's like Epic Lent. We give away all kinds of games and we give out all sorts of awards. And at the end of it all, we do Game of the Year. Game of the Year for PSVR, Quest, and PC. And the nominees for the Game of the Year awards are the winners from the Game of the Month awards. But when we have a month like this, where we have two titles that could either one of them deserves the win, we'll name a winner and an honorable mention so that at the end of the year, after we've had more time to play it and more people have given their opinions on it, at the end of the year, we can revisit and have both titles in the discussion for game of the year. So technically, you don't have to win game of the month to be the game of the year, but you at least have to get an honorable mention. And that's what we're giving to Jupiter God right now.
Yeah. What's crazy is I can't say either one of them probably would win by the end of the year because we've got so many good titles coming up. But who knows?
No, I think with regards to PlayStation VR, I think it's going to be hard to beat January's game of the month.
Yeah, so far, absolutely. Yes, hell, it might even be hard to beat Doom 3 at the end of this month for all we know.
That's
You
very
know,
true. Very true. Doom 3 could be an all time great.
yeah, $20, man. The cost of admission for such an amazing game, it's a no-brainer.
Blame Crutch says you guys keep making me buy games. Well, which one did we talk you into? Moose Life? Buy Moose Life. Buy Polybius. Honestly, if you don't have Jupiter Rod and you don't have Moose Life, buy
Yeah.
Polybius. Polybius is the one you want, especially on PlayStation VR.
I love that. If you don't have this game or this game, buy this other game.
All right.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
Polybius, I mean, it's honestly, it's one of the best games in VR, and I know that if you look at the video, you'll be like, "What?
I
No
say
way!"
if you were thinking about buying Moose Life, you've never played Polybius, but you like Jupiter Gron, I say get Jupiter Gron and get Polybius, and then come back around and get Moose Life down the road because it's always on sale as well, right? And like you said, Polybius is $6, man, right? That's shit. That's cheap.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. If you've never played Jupiter God or Moose Life, then you should go right now and buy Polybius and Windlands 2.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I think all of these games we've just listed are most of them are on Viveport Infinity, right?
The Mentor games aren't. Like
Okay,
Moose Life, Polybius, not. Jupiter Grod is on
Windlands 2
Infinity,
too, right?
and Windlands 2 is on Infinity. That's correct.
Cool.
ET2K9 now says 120 hertz. Yes, sir, you are correct. Polybius runs at 120 hertz on PlayStation VR.
Well, that would be nice.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe on
I don't know about Moose Life. Does Moose Life run at 120? I've never heard anybody claim it.
I don't know. So like that. So let me ask you this: the Quest 2 people been rumored of 120 hertz, right? Say they release that, that still has to take the developer to release a patch, right, to allow you to play it at that thing. So
Yeah, it has to be supported.
yeah,
Onakazi gets it. He says because if they already had Polybius, then no one would have to tell them to buy Moose Life. Exactly.
that's true.
Exactly. That's what I meant by it. He got it.
That's very true. It's a first-person
Uh,
puzzle platformer. I don't know, so I like that. I like that style. I like that. They need more of these type of games, man. I love platforming games.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Delirium True VR, what's up, strangers? Can't get used to the new time. Been in Hyperdash with Void and the others. Yeah, we just decided to embrace the lateness, man, because there are no VR late night shows, and we decided we'd be the first. And it's working out. People seem to like it, man. So we're going to
Yeah.
stick with it.
Well, we get people like Andy that says he's never been able to get to one of our shows before. Sure, it took waking up at 5:30 in the morning, but sometimes you have to get up early for the best things in life, right? So,
That's right. And this show, one of the best things in life,
best kept secrets on YouTube.
for sure. Let's talk about Oculus Quest in the month of February. Roots. Four fairly recognizable names, four fairly decent games. None of which I played.
I played one of them. Yeah, I played the first one, Catan VR. I've played
Oh, I
with
thought that was Satan. Satan
oh
VR.
Satan VR. Yeah, I played Satan VR with Scion once, and kind of ran over the rules and all that stuff. It was pretty technical game, and it was pretty cool. You get to see little houses
Yes.
pop up.
Satan VR came out on February 4th, 2021 from Experiment 7.
Yeah, people love this game that love it, right? I mean, if they're a Catan VR fan, they're like all in, bro.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like every now and then I'll talk to somebody who's into this game, but not very often.
Yeah, no, I mean for the people that really like it, I wouldn't say they're.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like with the Spice and Wolf crowd, right? The anime crowd. You have a very small group of people who just love it, and these types of board game type things in VR that has a similar following.
Yeah, absolutely.
Onokazi says I've never played Satan VR or otherwise. Man, me either.
Yeah, no, I'm not into board games either way anymore. I just grew out of it. I guess that's something I played a lot when I was a kid. So as I got older, I just got tired of playing board games, right? So
Yeah, Onakazi says the 120 hertz got pushed back to quarter two with low confidence on it happening. So that's a change. It was set to come in March with medium confidence that it was coming.
hmm.
So yeah, I guess that isn't such a done deal after all, huh?
Yeah, we'll see. It's coming, bro. No, just kidding. I don't care. I don't really care. I can't see myself like rushing to play too many games at 120 hertz anyway. It's already hard enough to juggle everything at 90, as far as performance wise. So something has to give.
But if it did support 120, maybe we could get Polybius on it at 120.
Yeah, true.
Now,
Well,
I know it would be able to run that.
yeah, that'd be cool, right? I mean, there's games out there. Tetris Effect would be an amazing one at 120 as well. Any of the Beat Saber Audica, any of the rhythm games would be amazing at 120. So
I heard rhythm was a dancer, Roots. Did you hear that?
I did not. I did not that at all.
That's a joke for the 40-year-olds out there. Where my 40-year-olds at?
Yeah.
Um, let's move on to our second title. Second release was on February 11th, and these weren't all of the releases for Oculus Quest. I just picked out the four top in my opinion. February 11th from Monte Perdido, Vanishing Grace came to us, and there was a fairly decent um, demo for this on SideQuest forever, and we finally got the full release on the official Oculus Quest store, and people said it was all right.
Yeah, they said it was just all right.
So it was pretty. I mean, it was good. It wasn't great. It was good.
Okay. Yeah. I see. I remember it was coming out, but I didn't have a Quest at the time, so I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And we didn't get a key, so we didn't play it. But looks like it's got some puzzle elements to it, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. A light puzzler, story driven light puzzler. Looks. I mean, for a Quest title, it looks pretty good actually. Like
Yeah.
visually,
Yeah.
it's got good lighting. It looks like the storytelling's decent in it. People just weren't blown away with it. They said it was good. It was worth playing. You know, it kept their attention to the end. But you know, I don't know. What did it release for? I can't
It's
remember.
like $20, I thought. 15 or $20.
Yeah, I think people said that maybe it was a little overpriced for what it actually turned out to be. I don't know. If anybody's in the chat, we're going to need you guys to help us out with the quest one this month, because I know what I think should win, but I need people to verify it for me.
Yep.
Let's move on to the third notable release for Oculus Quest on February 25th from I'm not even trying to pronounce that developer's name. Sorry, but we'll just call them the developer and Crashland. And this one,
Radio Runt's favorite.
I'd say I was about to say, out of all of these, this is probably the one that most looks like something that I would want to buy and play. I mean, yeah, wave based, but it looks pretty cool.
Do you think people like Anthony and Radio Runt could play it with the spiders and stuff?
I would hope so. It is VR. They're not real spiders, you know.
Yeah, but some people nope out, bro. Big spiders coming at you. No way, that's not happening.
Dude, that looks awesome.
Those kind of look like the Farpoint spiders. One of them did.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. My main thing is, as cool as it looks, I just see wave shooter. Now that doesn't mean that wave shooters can't be fun. I mean, we just got through saying Guns and Stories bulletproof. At least we thought it was good, and I know Delirium Drew was not too enthralled with it. But is there a story behind it, or is it literally you just killing these different things?
If there's a story, I mean, there is a story, but it's not story driven. I mean, there's a backstory.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, it looks better than most wave shooters. Every time I see a wave shooter anymore, it's like really, really horrible looking. It's like something that these days that just like, why would you waste your time making it? At least these monsters and stuff look like things you would want to encounter in a game, right? So
Right. It looks pretty cool to me, and the chat's popping for Crashland. Traveling Man says Crashland wins. Void Citizen, Crashland is fun. Onakazi confirming for us that Vanishing Grace is $20. Thank you, Onakazi. And
Radio
Ray
Runt says
Delator and Radio Runt both hate spiders.
yeah, Radio Runt says it would never happen. He's not going in there. Yeah, I guess it's
You gotta overcome your fears, bro. Use VR to better yourself.
yeah, and film it because I want to see it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think out of all four titles, and we'll get to the fourth one in a minute, this one is the most appealing to me. And yeah, it's a bit wavy. I mean, you can move around in it a little bit, but it's a wave shooter. I'm okay with that, man. The enemies look interesting. The gun variety looks it looks legit, and I think it would be fun. I can have fun playing an arcade game, and this looks like an arcade game.
Is there co-op? No, probably not. That would be
No, I
cool,
don't
right?
think. I mean, I don't quote me on that. There might actually be co-op for this one. I don't think so. Let me verify that. I don't want to speak out of turn here.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty creepy. I don't see
Oculus
what the difference
crossword.
is between this and propagation. I mean, obviously there's a difference, but it's also a wave shooter, right? So
Well, propagation's like 15 minutes long.
how long is this?
I bet you it's longer than 15 minutes. All right, this is $20 game, single user, no co-op.
Yeah, Delirium Drew says it sounds like Radio Runt couldn't handle the first hour of Farpoint. Absolutely not. Because it's not only those big
Oh, that's such a
spiders, the
shame
little
too.
spiders, there's a lot of spiders.
There's there's gigantic spiders. I think that there's a spider in Farpoint that's probably the biggest spider I've ever seen. Maybe the biggest boss I've ever fought in a game was that spider from Farpoint.
It was hard too. It was not easy at first for me to beat that boss.
Now you got to figure out how to attack it.
Yeah.
After that, it's not that hard, but you got to, it takes a minute to figure it out.
Yep, absolutely.
Anyway, moving on to number 4 for the fourth and final entry into the Quest Game of the Month for February. Also on February 20th or 25th, rather, 2021. This game coming from Triangle Factory, Hyper Dash, another side quest special here. It's 2 of the 4 games came from side quest, ended up on the official store. This is the one I expected everyone to vote for. This is the one I expected to win. But again, I'm leaning on other people's opinions because I haven't played any of these games.
Well, I know Delirium Drew literally came into the chat saying, I was just playing this with a bunch of people. I've heard people rave about it. I've never played it myself either. I still put off by that little skid that you got to ride on. I guess you don't have to ride on it. I don't know what the whole point of this thing is. I guess I know that there's different modes. I saw that there was domination and different stuff. So people rave about this thing. So
Yeah, this is who I expected to win. I haven't really heard anybody say anything bad about this one yet. And to be honest, that was a little bit surprising for me. It started as a free game on SideQuest, and now it's on Steam. I expected at least some PC guy to shit on it, but I haven't even heard that yet.
yeah, absolutely. Hyperdash should definitely be the winner. Radio Runt says. Hack says it's fun as F. Delirium Drew. I thought I saw him say something besides coming in here. Yeah, I don't know, but Onikazi was not impressed in the early access. He said.
Okay. And Chris Richardson says screw spiders. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Well, I kill spiders so many before breakfast, bro. Like, you have no idea.
Gamer Chick 13 chiming in saying that she lives in Los Angeles. Do you live in a tent? I heard that's what people live in Los Angeles.
Depends on what do you consider LA? Well, I guess you probably consider LA. I grew up in San Dimas, but it's so close. Well, it's not even that close, but everything runs together, right? So, city to city.
Yeah, yeah. Where you from? West Hollywood? Whereabouts? Blamcrutch says they tried Hyperdash because of Viveport Infinity. So tell us, friends, we think that Hyperdash probably should be the game of the month. But we had a few Crashland votes in there too. So now that all of the entrants have been revealed, who should win, guys? Let us know.
Yes,
Hack the
Bill and
Gamecock
Ted.
says, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep, they
Bill
were
and Ted
absolutely from San
Dimas.
Dimas. Yeah, that's my claim to fame. It was my hometown when I was living there when that movie came out. So, other than that, I don't know anything good about San Dimas. It's in California, and I'm glad I don't live there.
Radio Rent says, so I did So did I try Hyperdash on Viport? Is that a question?
Yeah,
I say yes. Yes, you
yes,
did.
you did. Yes, I think you did. I don't know. You said you played it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Chris Richardson says LA is used, and sadly, we've got a lot of homeless. Ray Delatorre says California is a shit hole.
The Raging Waters, hell yeah, dude! I used to love going to Raging Waters when I was a kid. It was good. I never saw Bill and Ted. I never saw Napoleon eating ice cream. It's never happened.
Hack says Hyperdash. ET2K9 now says Hyperdash. Blamecrotch says his vote does not count. Were you drunk or something? That don't matter. You can vote if you're drunk in 2021, bro. Don't even worry
Yeah,
about it.
dude. I would
Matter
say,
of
I
fact,
mean,
we'd prefer you be drunk.
I haven't played I mean, I played Catan VR, and I'm sure that's not going to win. I would say Hyperdash. I mean, for me, it would have either been Hyperdash or Vanishing Grace without trying any of the three, just because Crashland is a wave shooter. Vanishing Grace is an actual story-based puzzler that could be really cool, and Hyperdash, from what people say, is a really cool esports type of shooter. So
Well, there you go. I think
just drag them both in either way. So when one of them gets the win, the other gets the honorable mention. They
well, I
both.
mean, Vanishing Grace wasn't the second place. It was Crashland. It was the
No, that's
only
what I'm
other one that
saying.
got
Yeah, that's
votes.
what I'm saying. Those two, between those two.
Now, I think Hyperdash. I think that's the one I expected to give it to coming in here, and I pretty much had that confirmed for me here. So I don't think there's any point in making honorable mention here. I think it's pretty clear.
Cool.
Yes.
Hyperdash took it all.
Look at all. You know who else takes it all, Roots?
Oh god.
My mom!
Oh, she does.
All right, so just have
Byron
one
Bay,
clear.
Australia here. Lee VR from Australia. Thanks for hanging out, Lee.
Thank you, sir. I wonder what time it
Yeah.
is in Byron Bay, Australia.
I know what time it is in Colorado. It is 11:15. You know what's crazy, or 17? I still can't get over feet of snow, Wes. This isn't New York, upstate New York. We don't get feet, at least not where I live. We'll see.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of snow. You know,
Yeah,
you could be playing Powder VR in real life
that's true.
very soon.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about doing a video. I was going to put the Quest on in the middle of the blizzard. And no, that's probably not a good idea.
Hey, you probably could, man. You could put the virtual desktop on and go just outside your window,
Yeah.
and
You'd have to do it
yeah,
when it's not actually snowing, though. Ruin your headset.
well, you just don't drop it. Oh, you mean when it's not coming down? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Colorado time. Hell yeah.
5 p.m. Thursday, he says.
Wow.
5 p.m. Thursday, dude. That is so far off.
Dude, you know what
It's
it sucks about that is I would be done with work. I want to be in 5 p.m. Thursday.
at 5 p.m. Thursday. I'll be asleep, getting ready to go to work,
Oh, yeah, then that's not good.
or I'll be playing VR, saying, "Damn, I need to go to sleep, bro."
Damn, I'm thirsty. Oh.
All right, Void Citizen taking Colorado time to the next level tonight. Absolutely, that's what I was going to say, man. When he asked what time do you know what time it is in Colorado? I was like, dude, 4:20. It's always 4:20 in Colorado. What are you
Dude, the
talking
other
about?
night, it was weird as I was playing Population One, and I did with randoms, and there was these two guys, and I got in there, and somehow right off the bat we talked about smoking weed or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I can't smoke weed," which to me, I thought, okay, they're probably military. I said, "Well, I live in Colorado Springs, I can," and they both were like, "Oh shit, dude, we're in Colorado Springs too. What are the odds that I was playing with two soldiers, one Air Force, one Army, I think, or I don't know what he was, but that we're both here in the Springs. Pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty
Small
cool.
world.
Yeah, yeah. I find myself saying that more and more
Yeah.
as time goes on.
Yep.
But as time goes on, we get ever so close to the third and final category for February's game of the month, and that is PC VR. And much like PSVR, Kind of a difficult decision here, huh?
Yeah, no, for me it came down to a couple. And was looking at it, and I think it probably will again have to involve the chat, but we'll see.
Yeah, this one's going to be difficult. Even with the chat, I think, because I mean, this could go any number of ways. I think we're definitely going to have two, for sure. But I don't even know which two it's going to be, to be honest, man.
I think it's this first one right here, if I'm being honest. Gorilla Tag all day long. Actually, I was getting, last week when we picked an indie title, I had downloaded this. I have it. I was going to play it. I haven't had a chance to play it, but then I decided I wanted to play something else. But there's some people in the chat that in previous weeks that have swore by this game, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this is February 12th, 2021, from developer Another Axiom, Gorilla Tag. And I wasn't aware of Gorilla Tag, but I kept seeing it come up in the Discord. And I didn't even know what it was. I assumed it was some flat game or something that people were talking about. But as I was going through Steam VR, looking to see what came out this month, there it was right in front of me, Gorilla Tag. Have you?
I
Has
have not,
anybody played this?
I have not played it, but I guarantee you, there's at least a few people in the chat that will say it's good. There's several people in the Discord, right, that were just raving about this game, and I don't know if it's because it's free or what, or because you can be a spotted cheetah-looking monkey, or what. Like very tribal here. It looks like.
Yeah, I think how the thing runs is just hilarious. Like that's funny, dude. And I think it could be fun, man. One thing I did notice about this, which makes it hard kind of to vote against it, it had over 3,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews. Like everybody loves this game.
Yeah, yeah, it's really weird. I mean, I guess it's a combination between a couple things. It's free. People like free. And if the gameplay is fun and it's something you can play with other people, like Richardson was saying, we should get a group of a bunch of us playing this, and I think that would be a lot of fun. So, but
All right, how many players does it support up at one time?
I don't know. It's a good question. I know it looks like at least 8 to me, but it might be more. But I know there's a lot. Um, if anybody knows in the chat, Delirium Drew was asking because he was late. You were late, Drew. Why we're doing the game of the month so late in the month, and it's because last week the news was so heavy. We ended up talking about all the news last week instead of the game of the month. We delayed it.
Yeah, last week was the day. It was the day that Sony announced all those games. So what are we going to do? We're going to come on here and talk about game of the month when Doom 3 and Fract and Zenith and all of these other games just got revealed.
Yeah.
Nope, not on my channel.
Yeah.
No way, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
so
a
we decided to
no-brainer,
push
right?
it back. Yeah, no
Yeah.
brainer. Because what are we going to do? Do it all on Sunday and have a 5-hour show? We come in at over 3 hours this last Sunday just covering what we had left.
Yeah. Yeah. See, what the beauty of this is, you could be up above somebody else and wave at them. That was pretty cool. I don't know. People rave about it, so I guess this is probably not going to make game of the month, but it's definitely worth mentioning because it is popular and it's free.
Yeah, that's why I put it on there, because it was so popular. It had so many good reviews, and again, it's a funny trailer. I kind of just wanted to laugh at it.
Somebody said in the chat that it's definitely a game to break stuff with. I guess because you get so wrapped up and moving around that you end up smashing your TV or something.
Matty Matt says there's no grabbing. It's all about pushing off of surfaces, no buttons needed. So technically, if hypothetically they got this thing running on Quest, you wouldn't even need controllers, right? You could just use your hands.
Yeah, that's true. You use hand tracking. That would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, there's a good idea for the first good hand tracking game.
Yeah.
Not that Curious Tale isn't good. I mean a game that's specifically made for hand tracking. This should be it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Delator said it would be a huge hit on Quest 2. I agree.
Yep.
Anyway, let's talk about some real games, Roots, because we had a few real games get announced for launch on PCVR this past month, starting with Naal, The Lost Eye. This came to us on February 25th from the studio Game Bit. Zelda-like adventure, Journey of the Gods-esque, a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to get back in there because I need to get something besides that rod, dude. I wanna bow and arrow it up.
You know who's just fine with just the rod?
Oh yeah, she loves the rod.
My mom!
Yeah, this came out again on the February 25th, launched at $25, which is perfectly priced, but it was on sale. It had a nice launch discount associated with it. Probably of the games that came out on that day, probably the most polished at launch. Really only had one technical complaint about it, which was it defaulted in the blink turning, but that was easy enough dealt with. As far as the game itself goes, enjoyable, and at the time was probably my favorite release of the month.
Yep, absolutely. Very
At
good.
the time being the key words here. Then we had Hyperdash, Triangle Factory, same day, February 25th. We already talked about it. People really dig this game.
Yeah, it's weird though when it's going up against other games. It doesn't hold up in my mind. It's not one of the two that I was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me either. But people dig it, and surprisingly, because again, this is a Quest game on PC, and I guess it's what was the word when we like the Quest games on PC? Um, Charming. It's charming.
Yeah, it's charming. Doomsly says he can't vote for now. The devs can't make the game run on beastie PCs.
Ran fine on my PC, bro.
Yeah,
What you talking
I didn't
about?
have any issues with it running on mine either that I can remember. I don't know what you're running it. I was running on the Rift S, I think, at that time. I haven't tried it on the Quest 2 yet.
Yeah, I
So
played it on G2 and Quest 2, RTX 3080. I mean, it was pretty beefy, beastie PC.
yeah. Diz
Diz the Game
refund
Cat
yeah.
says,
Refunded Hyperdash, right?
well, there you go. Diz, you showed up. You should have been here 5 minutes ago when we, before we made it the Oculus Quest Game of the Month.
Onikazi has a
But
good question. I guess I would consider VR patch of Golf It. Was that released in February or was that beginning of March? Would we consider, because we considered Grip a game, a
yeah,
VR game.
yeah. If it just came to VR in February, then yeah, absolutely, it would be considered.
I thought that was early March instead of late February, but maybe I'm wrong. Time's flying so
Well,
fast.
we need to be consistent here, so I will find out.
Now, somebody said there's a new patch for Golf It, so I want to get back. We'll get back in there. I haven't been
There's
in there
going to
yet.
be. There's one thing I've realized about this game. Uh, it's not the best at first, but it does get a lot of support. They keep improving it. Small team, so it's a lot of small updates, but it's perpetual over years. This has been out for 3 years now, and it's gotten better and better and better and better. So,
See, Doom, that might be your problem, and this is the argument that I had with Jim Hall, or not really argument, but discussion, because he's convinced, his next computer was going to go. He was going to go AMD, and I said the one thing that prevents me from going AMD, and I think it was Scion or somebody in the chat that was talking, or the Discord was talking at the same time, was agreeing with me. Um, the only issue with AMD, like if you're playing all flat games, you're never going to have an issue, almost never. For whatever reason, there's conflicts that arise for some games in VR. And it just it's not that they don't fix them or whatever. It just AMD is it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot for having a potential issue. Probably most games you won't, but when they do have an issue, you have an issue. And it's like one of those issues where now you're troubleshooting all this crap to see why it's not running right, and it's a conflict with the driver with your processor. So
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what your
he said he listed it up there. AMD Ryzen R9
no, that's
3950X.
not what I was going to
Oh,
ask.
okay.
What the problem was with the game? Did it just crash and not run at all? Because
Sounded
again, that blinking problem we had, I mean, it was pretty distracting until we figured out how to deal with it.
yeah. Well, I think some it sounds like it was optimization. Yeah, it was Scion that was saying that about AMD and VR. And that's just what I've researched. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're not amazing processors, and in most ways they're totally on paper better. It's just Intel just has a lot more optimization built in there, less of the weirdness. Doesn't mean that it
Now,
doesn't
I
exist.
will. It's certainly something to take into consideration, though, right? If not everybody can play the game, then I mean that's something we need to consider.
Yeah,
I mean,
yep,
it's not
absolutely.
just for us, right? It's for everybody. The game of the month,
True.
and that
Crap.
brings us to our fourth and final uh, nominee, if you will, for PCVR Game of the Month, February. A Wake In from the VR Brothers, February 25th, just like the other two. Um, Probably my most highly anticipated game of the month. Probably the best concept for any of the games that came out this month. I was a bit put off with some of the performance issues that it had on launch. Not a lot, but there were some performance issues. And even more so than that, some of the clunky, unintuitive gameplay that was part of the game initially. Now, with that said, I am happy to report that this game has been patched 3 or 4 times with big changes. They listened to everybody's criticism and suggestions, my own included, and implemented everything that we said. So now the game much better than it was on February 25th.
Yeah, well, that's good. Nice to have. I need to go back in there and play some more myself. And I mean, I was impressed with this game as it was. I mean, even with the issues it had, it's definitely a good game, and definitely really cool environments, right?
Yeah, they've really fixed it up too, man. Like even like the thing where you try to get into the bottom drawers and you bump the wheels and the wheels kind of move and put you out of place rather. I told them about that. They fixed it, right? And like they added in the thumbstick turning now, so you can move forward and backward with the wheels, but turn with your joysticks, so that you can have that next level immersion, but it not be like
Weird.
so difficult to turn and stuff like it was with the wheels.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's way better now than it was. So like if you would have asked me on the 25th, what's the game of the month, I would have said Naal, the Lost Eye. But considering that all the improvement that Awake In has gotten since then, and the fact that who was it that was just now talking about Doomsly uh, can't run it on his computer, then I think that's pretty much seals it up for me. I think A Wake In should be the game of the month this month.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. Now I think the game. I thought it was it which game was it? Was it Now that he couldn't play on his computer, or Golf It?
Now,
Okay.
now,
Yeah. Yeah, I would
yeah,
imagine. I mean, regardless if it's a conflict with the drivers or not, that's up to the devs to fix, right? For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, more and more people are using AMD because let's be honest, for the last probably year and a half, 2 years, apples to apples, the AMD stuff has outperformed the Intel stuff, and that's the reason why people are buying them now. But it's starting to swing back the other way, back to Intel. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. A lot of people have AMD. Your game needs to run on AMD.
Yeah, absolutely. Needs to run on everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. So, unless somebody in the chat vehemently disagrees, Awake In #1 this month.
Yeah, absolutely. GDC is free and virtual this year. Registration is open. Richardson says.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I wonder who's going to actually participate and actually show us things.
yeah. And what is going there get for you? What do you get? I want something.
Well, we always said, Roots, that that was kind of our one of our big
Goals?
long-term goals was to be able to go to one of these things like GDC.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's our chance, right?
Yeah, but everybody gets to go. It's not special
2 years in, we achieve our long-term goals. We're done. We're
Yeah,
out.
we're done. That was our last episode. Well, we got to actually go to GDC first, though. I'd like to go. I like Gamertag's story that he's told us about. How he went to that one thing and met Zim and Mike and everything, and so that's the cool thing, right? Is getting to meet other content creators, other people that you knew about or never talked to. That'd be pretty cool.
Blamcrotch says he's downloading it from Viport Infinity, but hasn't tried it yet. Yeah, that's the cool thing too. Naal, the Lost Eye, it is confirmed to be coming to Infinity. Now it's still going to be a little while. It's going to be about 6 weeks,
Okay,
but it is coming to Infinity. We know this, so it's pretty cool.
absolutely, that's true. That's true. Gamer Chick just wants to disagree to be contrary. You can absolutely, but only you can, Gamer Chick. No one else is allowed to do that.
Sure. What do you think? Gorilla Tag then?
I didn't think she was going to vote Gorilla Tag. Who wouldn't vote Gorilla Tag though? I mean, if you're being honest. Now, one thing that Tiffany said actually that kind of intrigued me, or I guess it didn't intrigue me. It's a different outlook, right? So she was wondering what kind of model that Gorilla Tag is working on. She does not see how the devs are going to make any money unless they're hoping to get picked up from another company. Which maybe that is exactly what they're trying to do. I think a lot of people make these games to be noticed. Say, hey, look, this is what I can do. Hire me, or buy
Yeah, I
me.
think they're working on the underpants gnomes structure, pay structure,
Yeah.
where you just question marks profit. Makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. Now, I would say that game was probably made by students. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a project, like a school project.
Yeah. If you're gonna, might as well throw it out there for free and let people see if people like it, right?
Delirium Drew says I'd vote GT over the weekend game. Well, that's one vote for Gorilla Tag Roots.
No, but what would you vote? I mean, is that what you would vote for, or was there something else on that list?
Yeah, Gorilla Tag Radio says you guys can suck a dick. We're not picking Gorilla Tag for the game of the month. Come on, guys. Come on, man.
Gorilla Tag.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Future of Gaming Quality and Connection presented by Facebook Wednesday, March 17th. So yeah, Oculus is attending to the GDC.
Mm,
Maybe they'll announce something. Who knows?
nice.
Squad Up Social and Multiplayer in VR with Pop One Wednesday, March 17th.
240
Yeah,
to
okay.
310 Pacific. I
Might be
know.
worth it.
I'm sure I'll probably be working that day. I
I'll be
imagine.
off that day.
I
I'll
don't know
be
what day
off
the
that day and
17th
we'll have a
is.
show that night. We can do virtual show live from GDC.
Yeah. Good.
Chris Richardson voting for Gorilla Tag. All right. On that note, we're gonna call it now. Actually, Roots, we got to pick a runner up, right? There's too many good games on PCVR. I happen to think Naal should be the runner up, but I don't know. People seem to be digging Gorilla Tag right now.
I don't know. That's a good question for real. So you guys really think that Gorilla Tag
People aren't
should?
even. The funny thing is that people aren't even picking hyperdash, like which I thought would be the monkey wrench in the whole deal. Everybody's picking gorilla tag.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. What was it? Somebody said that they would pick. Oh, Diz the Game Cat says he would vote Gorilla Tag over Hyperdash, directed at Drew.
Well, there you go. I don't know, man. I feel kind of weird now. I said we need a runner up, but I don't know about putting it on gorilla tag. But I never played it. Who knows? Could be game of the year.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, if we're being honest, I mean, again, with everything coming out, is any of the games so far going to be on that? I mean, we could be. You just never know. But
Let me tell you, Awaken has that kind of polish on it.
that's true.
It's legit a really polished game and original for in a lot of ways. So I could see it being in the discussion, to be quite honest. If they fixed all of the problems with it, I
Eh,
mean, it might be that good.
we have to put Gorilla Tag second now because Ray Dillator is calling us out. He says you guys are rigging the election. We will not. I
Well,
How
I,
dare
I
you?
how
will.
dare you,
I,
Ray?
I'll select Gorilla Tag because you said it, Roots. But I will point out to Ray Delator that this is not a vote nor a democracy.
Oh, that's true.
We look to people for advice. We don't take votes.
Yeah. Well, but definitely a lot of people for runner up for Gorilla Tag, so I think it's
All right,
legitimate.
so we'll give it an honorary mention on the advice of my friend Roots here.
And it's gonna force us now. We have to go in and try it. As if it made runner up and we didn't try it, that's a problem.
Yeah, yeah. And Traveling Man says, "Hey, wake in just for the name." Hey, how about the developer's name, man? It comes from the VR Bros.
Yeah.
It's VR Bros. Come on.
Yeah. Who doesn't like VR, bros?
Gamer Chick says, "I am definitely rigging the election, Ray." Yeah, those people in California, you got to watch them.
Shifty. Super shifty.
Shifting. Yeah, they shift. They shift over to Arizona. That's what they do. But anyway, with that note, I think it's going to wrap up our episode, Roats. Another successful Game of the Month episode. Uh, we'll have another one in 2 weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, it's gonna come up quick, right? Super quick.
Scion says Facebook is IOI. So if Facebook is IO Interactive, then why don't Facebook have Hitman 3?
That's true.
There you go. Answer me that,
Yeah.
smarty pants.
Hell yeah.
All right. So yeah, so that's going to wrap up our show. We'd like to thank all of you for showing up. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Click the stuff, man. Click the big red one first, the bell one second, the thumbs up one third, and it really helps for the algorithm, just for the algorithm, no other reason. If you would leave a comment down below, we'd really appreciate it. Uh, we don't know that it helps the algorithm, but that's what people say. So we're going to go along with it. Leave a comment. All it has to say is anything. You can say comment. Somebody asked Roots the other day who let the dogs out.
Yeah.
I replied, who? Like 3 or 4 times. So yeah, let's flip the algorithm on its head. Let's get some more subs in here, dude. One more and we're at 1050.
Wow. Wow. We're
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's good growth, man. There was a time when 50 subs took forever, it seemed like, right? So
Yeah, so if you're in the chat or if you're watching live right now and you haven't subscribed yet, you could be Magic 1050 and you'll be able to tell your grandkids one day. I remember when they had 1,050 and I was the that 50. And they'll be like, well, Grandpa, they're already up to 1,500 now. And
let's
so
hope
yeah,
it's a little bit more than 1,500. Yeah, they're up at 15 million now. Oh, bigger than Joe Rogan, bro.
yeah. PewDiePie. We're gonna be the PewDiePie VR.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, thanks for showing up, guys. Again, click the stuff if you haven't already. If you want to do a little something else, throw us a little scratch on Patreon. $3 a month, get you the show notes, get you the money show. I mean, $3, dude. That's not even a quad venti white mocha.
Yeah, that's not even close to a quad venti white mocha anymore. Just keep rising the
Yeah.
price.
So yeah. So click the stuff, support on Patreon, join the Discord. Dude, what a time we had on Discord today. I had a lot of fun when HTC revealed made their big reveal of their new and improved, more expensive yet smaller tracker. Way to go, guys. Knocked it out of the park there.
They did it.
Um,
Yeah.
we've been talking a lot of PSVR lately. It's our home. Come
Yeah,
home.
it's like
There's
Chris
a link in
said.
the description.
Yeah, like Chris Richardson said, it's like hanging with good friends who like mom jokes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. People even keep the mom jokes going in the Discord. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, dude, that's one of my favorite things. That and the gifts. I love the gifts.
Especially PD. PD's really digging the mom jokes lately. Like he'll just force them in there. Like, you know who else likes doorknobs? Like what? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love me some PD.
I do too. Anyway, that's the show, folks. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for staying up late with us. Get some sleep, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, absolutely. Take it
Bye.
easy.